Hi guys, I just want to make this quick video concerning the geological birth pains data that we've got at the moment. So I'll just go into them, I'll just hit them as they come. First data sheet here is the earthquakes, and you can see this is the daily graph, and we have just hit a big spike. So the earthquakes have spiked up here to a point of 19 red alert earthquakes in the last 30 days, compared to, like, down here you can see the end of August it was at 3, so it's gone from 3 up to 19. And so obviously danger point would be around 22, so that gives you a bit of an idea. So it's jumped up, it jumped up here, and then in the last 9th for the 11th, in the last 2 weeks it's jumped from 10 to 19. So that's the daily earthquakes. We've gone for a big spike. Actually, the monthly average has gone up as well. It was 12, I believe, or 13.5, I think it was, and then after putting my numbers in this weekend, Sunday, it went to 15, and you can see the average as well of a continuously increasing monthly average. So we'll see how that pans out. Total earthquakes, pretty basic, stable level. That's the total amount of any magnitude earthquake. Red alert earthquakes. Now, here's the main point of the earthquakes. We've seen one of the biggest week average for red alert earthquakes ever on this data graph here, because it hit in the blue. It's hard to see because the red one's in the way as well, but in the blue you can see this hit 9. So there were 9 red alert earthquakes in 1 week, which the average, if you take the average here, the average is about 3. The record was 8, but we've hit 9 in the last week. There was a big spike. Last week there was a big spike, and there was 9 red alert earthquakes in 1 week. And you can see this has pushed the 30-day average up to this level here. 17, 19, 18. And so, yeah, the earthquakes are on the rise. So now volcano numbers. You see from this graph here, like back in mid-July, it was at the level of 38. Sorry, mid-July here. And he rose up to an average of 42, and then you can see it's jumped up in the last 1, 2, 3, 4 month and a half, 2 months. It's jumped from here to here, which is a higher level of what it normally is. So and here's like an average that I've tried to make of cutting out all the weird drops. So if you look at this graph, this is like the average without faults. Whoops. And so well, you can see from that bit of the graph there that since the end of 2019 it's been on the move, and again it's at a high point at the moment. So yeah, so volcanoes are on the rise as well. And then Yellowstone volcano has been a weird one. These weird readings around here, where the discharge level was down to a very, very, very minimal level. This is the amount of steam that's given off. Then the water temperature, anyone who follows me probably seen these posts already, but it hit its hottest level that it has done since I started beginning these records. So in the last even, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, 7 years, it's hit its hottest level, and that was only in August, and then it's dropped down, you see, to a maximum coldest level. It's hard to really see on this graph, but these readings over here are spurious. Hang on, let me show you. Surface water, the 2018, 2017. Yeah, there you go, 2018 marked in red. Alright, and these two, so they were spurious temperature. So it might be a problem with the data, might be my fault, but these ones you see here, which are down here, are actually kind of wrong readings. So they need, if you bring them up to the average, you'll see that this has actually hit a record low. I know it sounds so stupid that a super volcano should be at its coldest, but it might actually be that old sort of energy rule of like the tsunami. Before the tsunami comes in, you have a pullback of the ocean. Same during a storm. A really big storm will actually pull the water from a different part of the world and dump it on wherever the storm is. And so it's like nature's always trying to be in balance. Maybe this is the balance, that there's a super heat coming so that this super cold comes first. You know what I mean? Like a pull out effect. Or maybe it's to imbalance with this. It's like it had a super hot, so maybe it's having a super cold. But personally, I believe that it's like a pullback effect, that it'll go super cold. It'll be a quiet before a storm comes. I do believe that. And as the gauge height, so Yellowstone, it's gone to super cold after being at a super hot level. And these birth pain signs are all going to be birth pain signs of the throne getting nearer. So you'll have earthquakes increasing before the throne hits. Volcanoes will be also part of that. Auroras, which you're seeing in the sky, it's happening now. And here you have Yellowstone. So either it's probably likely going to all dry out, shut down, something like that before the throne of God hits. When the throne of God hits, there'll be a massive earthquake as he locks on, and everything else that's going to happen. The earth flipped upside down, the full moon will become blood red on that day. So you need to watch out for these earthquakes, because they're the primary birth pain of the throne of God, NIBIRU, coming at the sixth seal. But of course, I know you've got to watch for the seven seals happening first. So the Antichrist being crowned, war outbreak from Israel, market collapse, the Dome of the Rock being destroyed during that, the takedown of North America by North Korea, and then everyone will cry out to God for his help, for his vengeance, for his salvation, and then that's when the throne of God will hit. And Yellowstone volcano, because Yellowstone volcano is the bottomless pit, and the bottomless pit will be opened and the smoke will come out of the pit, and this will also be the pit that Satan will be bound in. The pit will darken the sun and the air, and these creatures, which are like these creatures on this image here, will come out and sting the people who are not the servants of God. So they'll sting the people who are not the 144,000 and don't have the seal of God on their foreheads for 5 months. So this is why this is part and parcel of just keeping watch of these things, really, because they're all part of what's going to happen in the end of the age. So I've been Pastor Prophet Justin Roberts from End of the Age Bible Prophecy. God bless you all. Amen.